What is up, RC enthusiasts? Check it out. We have a 1/24 scale Toyota Tacoma in the house. This is a licensed Toyota Tacoma by FMS. These are the specs to it real quick. Check it out right here. Oh, and here it comes. My FMS Tacoma, yeah. Mine is a little bit more lifted than stock right now. I don't have the stock wheels on it. These are weighted wheels. The tire diameter is a little bit bigger than stock. Not much, but a little bit bigger. I did a little bit of flat black on the interior to make it less, plasticky. And also blackened the bed back here. Other than that, there's a stock FMS with a stock front end put on it. So let's go ahead and let's take a deeper dive and let's take a look at what's inside this new FMS. We got a tiny little interior in there. It's just a Lexan interior, but it's pretty nicely detailed with a, looks like a plastic steering wheel on there. We have rear seats, it's all glossy. You actually get real mirrors. I'm not sure if I can show that. You see those real mirrors right there? Also included is your USB charger, which is going to charge through the balance port. And we have a hex wrench for your wheels. And we have some Allen head hexes to take apart your rig if you need to. And it looks like a spare gear here. I'm not sure if this is spare or if it's a different gear ratio, but yeah, they include a spare gear here. Here we have the stock front grille and the stock front valance. So you can switch it to pure stock if you don't want the rig to look, modified in any way. And this little Toyota emblem is actually a metal emblem. It's pretty good detail. Transmitter right here that we're all used to by now for these little minis that come with these kind of transmitters. It's not bad, and it definitely works for me. Two cool things I wanted to point out. This rack for the rear right here, you see this grate on top that's screwed in? That's a metal grate, so that's actually made of metal. That's pretty cool. And the wheels on this are actually the TRD off-road wheels, so these are the actual wheels that the Toyota comes with. Up front, it's running on CVDs, as well as you can tell right here on the steering link, we have a double shear style steering link, so that should make it a lot beefier than most normal steering links out there. We have metal gears as well in there. Looks like we have a one-piece axle all the way through that looks pretty beefy for a 24th scale. And we have a metal gear in here as well. It is pretty simple actually to replace. You're not even going to have to disassemble it as far as I do to get this shaft out. But it looks pretty beefy and I don't think it's going to break. You're going to use this channel 3 switch to actuate a real 2-speed gearbox in here. Check that out. That's a real servo switching gears on a real 2-speed gearbox. Here we can see the 2-speed shifter and all the gears inside are pretty much metal gears. And flipping over the main case right here, you see the output shaft for the counter rotating shafts. And that's metal gears on that as well. Now I've taken another FMS gearbox apart that has the same gearbox in there. And this gear right here is metal in those ones. But in this one, it's a plastic gear they installed. But like you've seen, they do include the metal one in there. Now I assume they did this to make it quieter. That's why this gearbox is actually quieter than my other FMSs. I'm going to test it with this gear and see maybe, this gear might be all it really needs. Up front we're going to have our steering servo with our steering servo saver installed. We have a metal chassis rail with FCX24M stamped at the front and rear. Here's our FMS 2-in-1 ESC receiver combo. It's 2S LiPo capable and it looks like it has some water resistance to it. Here's our tiny little brushed motor attached to our 2-speed gearbox with our tiny little shift servo. And we have an FMS 7.4 volt 380 milliamp hour 2S LiPo powering this rig. Underneath the body we just have some lights up front, just some headlights attached to here. You just press the bind button and it turns those headlights on and off. They do have buckets for all the other lights that you want to install on here. Even on the rear there are spots for lights. And this little foam piece right here to stop the battery from sliding out back, but you could also face the battery sideways and use a bigger battery I believe in this one. You just have to watch out because this bed is kind of close to the battery, so a bigger battery might not fit properly on here. I can't believe I almost forgot to mention that these shocks are oil filled, so 24 scale oil filled shocks straight out the box. It does have a power switch located right here, so you don't have to lift the body up to hit it, but it is kind of deep in there, so you have to have fingernails to hit that thing kinda. Alright, now let's go take this guy out for a trail drive. The FCX24 Tacoma, or FCX24M Tacoma, is going to go ahead and tackle my uphill trail until we get to the very steep section up there. Let's go ahead and see what it can do. This does have a 2-speed gearbox and I am in the low range, or the first gear, whatever you want to call it. The slower gear, crawler gear I guess. Oh, this thing's tackling stuff. Let's go ahead and take a harder line over here. Slow it down a little bit for scaleness, And of course I'm not running the stock wheels and tires on this one right now because I know it won't make it up here. It's gonna probably topple over, and I don't want to ruin this really nice looking hard body Tacoma. Hopefully I don't roll over, but it can still happen. It's very steep and unpredictable out here. All right, now we put it in second gear just to see how fast we can go up this. Definitely faster. All right, back to low range. It's a very smooth rig, guys. It just goes up stuff. Doesn't have portals, so less slop in the drivetrain on this one. Very smooth little rig. Definitely can recommend as one of your first little 24 scales, really. I would take this over a FCX24. That's just my opinion. Then again, I am a Toyota guy, so you know what I mean? I don't like the 4Runner they made. Kind of disappointed in that model. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Very small 24 scale factor gets through some of the harder stuff and kind of squeezes through them instead of having to go over some of them. So differences in size. All right, now this section right here, I usually have trouble with long wheelbase. Let's see if we have any with this one. Oh, we're having roots trouble right now. Going over roots. There you go. That was a strong root. Oh, it's long wheelbase, but it's still short enough for this. Nice. Uh-oh. Spoke too soon? Spoke too soon. Let's back it up and try to save it. All right. Wasn't paying attention to where I was going. I needed to go up here. Uh-oh. There you go. Now we're getting to the side hill steep section right here that tests tires usually, but since I'm not running the stock tires, we're not really doing a test for the tires here. These tires have made it up here several times. And the stock tires, if you weight them down, I don't have any doubt that they could make this either. They're pretty good soft tires. Just need some wheel weights and bead locks on them maybe, because the stock wheels are, you need to glue them on or just change the wheels to bead locks. When you do put it in the second gear, it does give you enough wheel speed to, you know, hike with this thing. So you can take this on hikes with you. It will do stuff. We did that in the fast gear. Oh, I knew we were gonna get stuck on this one. It's long wheelbase. So it doesn't seem to have a powerful enough drag brake to do it in second gear, but in the first gear, it's either it has a drag brake that turns on when you switch it to that gear, or it just holds good enough in that gear. Man, this section has gotten crazy. We could do 10 scales here now for sure. All right, let's go up this section and let's see what we can do up this really steep and dusty section, so it's very slippery. Like I said, we're not really testing the wheels here or tires, because these tires have done this before. Just trying to test the, I don't know, capability of the rig of being hard body and long wheelbase compared to all my other rigs. We have our last technical section here. See what it can do. Oh, high centered. Change line, change line. There you go. Come on, wow. Uh-oh, uh-oh. There we go. Keep your line. Come on, loose rocks. Yeah. What an impressive little rig. All right, guys, time to go to the hill climb. Looks like it got a little bit more mellower. There's some rock sections up top right there, but down here, it looks like it got simple. So, you know, just wait for another rainy season and we have another new uphill challenge. Oh, loose. New stuff right here. Got itself out of it. Alright, that was cool. Oh. Stuck on the rock on this side. Got over it. Or slid across it. Oh man, doing its thing. Yeah, and these tires are just slightly bigger than the stock ones. They're not that much bigger, so I'm not really making it into like a monster truck or anything, but I just want to note they are slightly bigger. So no matter what, there is going to be an advantage there. I'm not going to deny that. Come on, Mickey Thompson tires. You got it. Look at that. And the very last section here doesn't look too crazy. And it looks like we're at the top. Oh, a little loose right there. Will it make it? There we go. Come on. And it's up. Well, there we go, guys. The FCX24M Tacoma, and it's licensed too. Very nice little rig. Check that out. FCX24 did awesome. This Tacoma can handle some off-roading and just some wheel weights and some tires, and you've got a beast in your hands. Now I know I took the custom stuff up front out, and I'm running a more stock SR5 look here. Got that little, you know, bed rack off of there, and in my opinion, this thing right here, it's probably more like a, you know, extra cab long bed. That's kind of like what they're mimicking here, because it's definitely, you know, really long back there. But for sure, it could be called an extra cab long bed right there for sure. Well, all right, guys, thanks for watching as usual, and as always, stay safe out there, go have fun, and run that RC.